So I went outside and I measured the post and I set this on top, and I had to work upside down and draw the pencil across underneath. I couldn't even see it. I got it close to the wall, as close as I could. And you can see here, perhaps, it's not a very good line. I missed it in here. As you can see, we're going to be putting the molding onto the pillar like this, so I'm going to want this cut this way. So I always draw a line to indicate which direction I'm going to cut it. And just because this line was not straight, I am going to cut it a little on the outside of that line, so it's a little longer. It's going to be too long, hopefully it's going to be too long for what we were trying to do here. And so when we get that, I can then just take it and bump it on the saw and cut it back and make it the right size. So what do you say we do that? Now, in order to do that, I'm going to need the saw turned here. So this is how this is going to go. It's going to sit like that. This is going to have to get cut a little more, but it's going to be good. So I'm going outside and I'm going to measure. Now, just before we do that, I want you to see this here. When you're cutting the back bend, what you're in fact doing now, if I was cutting it, I would cut another piece of scrap wood and it would be somewhere around here like this. I put that there like that, and I know that right here, cutting this straight down is going to give me the back bend that I want. So I would draw my line here, which just so happens to be the same line as this. So you would put your saw blade, you'd put this into your saw, you bring your blade up to this area here, you could make it a little proud so that you don't lose any of that, and then cut it, and then you would take that and simply glue that piece on there like that, and you end up with something that looks like that. And that finishes it off a whole lot nicer than taking something and butting it into the wall that looks like this. I just don't like that. So that's how you do a back bend, and that's important. So let's head upstairs. I'll measure these two pieces, and I know I'm going to have to nudge this a little more, and I'll show you how I do that in just a moment. We'll be right back.
Hi everybody. So we've got the porch done, but we haven't finished the pillars around the garage, and I'm going to show you that in much more detail at this point right now. So we're going to put the shellac on here, but before we do it, take a look at the porch here. This is where I'm going to sit with my cup of tea, my English breakfast tea of course, in just a few minutes. This is a picture of the railing coming up to the porch, and a little bit of the pillar that you can see here. So we are very pleased with the way that worked out, and now we're about to embark on the garage pillars. So I have again an opportunity to apply some shellac to the back of a board, because they didn't have enough of this board at the lumber mill. We bought everything they had, and so consequently we had to wait till they got more stock, and once they've got the stock in, they notified us by email that it was available. And so now we're in the process of doing what we did before all over again. Oh, that's the joy of this work. All right, this is kind of boring, and I'm sure you've seen people with a paintbrush before. So what I'm going to do is I'll continue doing this, and then we're going to set this aside to dry. And as it sets up and dries, we're going to go outside. I've got to bring the pillars just a little tighter together. So I've got our nail gun here, and I'm going to take that and go up and hit that and see if we can fix that a little bit right now. So what do you say we move outside? I'll finish this and then we'll move outside and you can see what we're doing there firsthand. All right, let's go. I have taken the time to clean this. This actually probably needs a little sanding right in there because there's a little bit of a ridge and I don't want that. And as we do this, the board that you saw earlier that we shellacked is already downstairs drying. Now, one of the things I did here, just to be sure, I pulled out a couple of nails that were still stuck on here, and I put my hand underneath, and you can see this move. So I'm up to about where my thumb is here, and it's all empty underneath there. So I'm going to have to put a couple of nails in up in here in order to hold this board tight. But over here, I've got space and I need to pull that in there. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to try this. I don't know if this will work, but I suspect it will. I've got some CA glue here from some Starbond, and I'm just letting some medium scroll down in there. And now I am going to bring this together. I'm going to hit it with some accelerator and that'll drip down in there. Okay, we're just going to leave that. It won't take too long. And now what I've got is I've got my nail gun and I put a nail that's 1.5 inches in here, and I'm going to put a couple more nails in here while this is glued together. And this is tight all the way to the bottom, so I'm not too concerned about this side. So what do you say we nail gun this? Okay. That pulled that in really nicely. That's really excellent. That's all nice and snug there. I don't know what I'm going to do about coming the other direction. I guess I can open the garage and then put the glue back down in here and pull this way. So I think maybe that's what we should do. Well, we're now going to do the same thing here in the front, and I don't want to get it on any of this glue on the clamp. This piece right at the top here, right in where the chisel is sticking out by about a good 1/8 of an inch, and it's going to have to be planed down or cut down, and I don't have a saw that's going to do that, or do I? You know what? I do have a flush cut saw. I'm going to get that. I'll be right back. Wow, look at that. While I was downstairs cutting these pieces, all of a sudden this is all filled in and nice and smooth. I wonder how that happened. So that's going to go there like that. This is going to come out here like that, and that's a tad bit long. So I need to cut that one a little shorter. So that marks that. Now, what I need to know is from here. Yes, okay, we're good. That's the first one done. We only have 3 more to do. All right, it's time to go and have some lunch. We may continue this and show you the bottom, but we may not. We'll wait and see. Okay, that's it for now. My plan was to cut that a little bit longer, and it looks like I'm absolutely dead on the mark. So if it fits, we got lucky. So we're going to head out and check it out right now. Well, thank you for joining me. And that's it for this video. It's all done. The garage is all pillared and everything looks fine. I'm going to head out onto the porch right now, and I am going to sit down with a cup of English breakfast tea and take it easy. It's really whacked me out today, but the job is done. So that's the good news. All right. Thank you for joining me. And if you're inclined and you would like to see some more, please subscribe. If you have some comments about this video or other videos, please feel free to leave your comment. I try to get back to everybody when they comment. I figure if you take the time to make that comment, I need to take the time to respond. And the good news is I will very soon be talking about our new book, which will be launching in just a matter of a few weeks from now. So more on that in the future. All right, thank you again. I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.